Hey gang, all right, this video is going to talk about additive volume, okay? Additive means we're going to be doing addition at some point, right? And volume, we should know at this point, volume is the total amount it takes to fill a three-dimensional object, all right? So we're going to be using addition to help us find volume, all right? Now normally we were multiplying to find volume. You'll see how it works right now. Okay, we're going to get a figure that's going to look like this. All right, it's going to be an irregular shape. It won't be a cube or a rectangular prism. It's going to look something like this. What you're going to have to do first is you're going to have to make a decision as to how you want to separate that figure into two different parts. Okay, I could come here and I could draw a line vertically and I could separate it into a small figure here and a large figure there. Or I could draw a horizontal line and draw and have a wider figure here and a smaller one on the top. It doesn't matter which way you do it. It really doesn't, and I'll show you that on the next slide. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to divide this figure right here. I'm going to draw my line straight down. Okay? And now I hope you can see that I've made two boxes now. They're connected. All right? So what our goal is we're going to find the volume for the whole thing. Okay, why is it additive volume? I'm going to have to find the volume of this box and then find the volume of this box, and I'm going to add them together. That's why it's called additive volume. Now, when you've been finding volume so far, you know the formula for finding volume is volume equals the length times the width times the height. Okay, you've got to find those three things, multiply them together, and that will give you the volume. Now, I'm going to use, instead of length, width, and height, because a lot of times children get confused looking at the pictures as to which one is which, and I don't want you to worry about that. I'm going to change it. I'm going to give you three symbols instead. You're going to have a vertical symbol like this. All right, vertical goes up and down. Horizontal like this, where it goes side to side. And a diagonal like that, okay? You should be able to look at a picture and see vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. That's what you've got to find in each box. Okay, so let's take a look at this one and let's see what I'm talking about. Looking at this big box right here, okay, at the bigger one. When I look at this box, I need to look at find the vertical side of this box. I need to find the lines that go up and down. Okay, so when looking at it, I can see right here the vertical line is right there. That's the vertical line on that box, and the number there is 9. So I'm going to come over here underneath my vertical line and I'm going to put a 9. All right. Now I want to look for my horizontal line on that box. Now, a lot of times people will look and say, oh, it's 12. Well, look, this horizontal line doesn't stop here anymore because I cut it, right? This goes all the way across, so I can't use that 12 anymore. All right, that 12 isn't going to count anymore. Look at the box. Can you find the horizontal line? It's up here. This one is the horizontal line for that box. And that number is going to be 7. So I'm going to put it here by my horizontal symbol. And now we're going to look for the diagonals. And I want you to notice something on the diagonals. Let me change my color here. The diagonals are all the same on the box. So once you find your diagonal line, for one, you found the diagonal line for the whole thing. So my diagonal on this box is what? It's 4. So I'm going to put a 4 here. Now, once you put it there, I can also put it down here. It's going to be 4 on this other box as well. Once you find your diagonal, put it for both boxes. It's not going to change. Okay? So now on this box, I have found the length, the width, and the height. I found the vertical, the horizontal, and the diagonal. So I can multiply these numbers together. Okay? 9 times 7 times 4. And I should have chosen easier numbers because now I have to do it in my head. 9 times 7 is 63. And 63 times 4 is 252. So that's the volume for this box. It's not the volume for the whole thing. Now let's look at the smaller box. Okay? And again, I've got the same three symbols. I already know the diagonal is 4 because all the diagonals are going to be 4. So now let's look for the let's look for the vertical side on this box. Now, you're going to look for the numbered sides. Where's the vertical side that's numbered? It's right here. This side is numbered, and it is 5. So I'm going to put a 5 under that one. All right, now I look for the horizontal in that box alone. It's right here. it's also 5. Okay? So now to find the volume of this box, 5 times 5 times 4. All right? So 5 times 5, 25, times 4 is 100. So now I know the volume here is 100. All right? Now is where the additive part comes. This is 252. This is 100. I'm going to take those two numbers and I'm going to add them together, and that will give me the total volume for the whole box. Okay? So putting them together, the total volume here, 352 cubic units. Remember, when you're finding volume, it makes cubes. That's why it's called cubic units. All right? Let's take a look at the next slide. I have the same figure up here twice. Why? I'm going to show you that it doesn't change no matter how you divide it. So I'm going to find the volume two different ways. On this box, I'm going to divide this one horizontally. I'm going to draw my line here. That gives me a wide top box and a shorter bottom box. Okay? And I want to put my symbols again so you can see the same way every time. I want to find a vertical, a horizontal, and a diagonal. A vertical, a horizontal, and a diagonal. Let's look at the top box. Let me get a different color here. Okay, we'll do red on this one. Look at the top box. Find your vertical line on the top box. Look at this box up here. Where's the vertical side? It's right here. That goes straight up and down. Okay, so that is a 4. Find your horizontal on the top box. Do you see it? It's right here. It's 9. Okay? Now, you might say, oh, look, there's a 5, but the 5 doesn't go all the way across. The 5 stopped there. 9 goes all the way across. And now I want to find my diagonal. Can you find your diagonal lines? It's here. 5 is my diagonal, right there. Now, once you find the diagonal on the top, you found it for the other one as well. So that diagonal is going to be 5 as well. And now we multiply. I'm going to make my multiplication easier for me. Remember, multiplication has a commutative property. So I'm going to make it easier for me. Rather than doing 4 times 9 and doing 36 times 5, I might have to think about that one. I'm going to do 4 times 5 instead in my head. 4 times 5 I know is 20, and 9 times 20 is 180. So this would be 180 in that top box. Now let's come to the bottom box. Again, I'm looking for 3 things. I already know the diagonal. The diagonal is 5 because all the diagonals are 5. Now, let's look at this bottom box. Can you find the vertical? Okay, can you see it? It's right here. And it says that vertical is 6. How about the horizontal? That horizontal is 4. And so now I'm going to multiply these. All right? I'm going to do 5 times 4. That's 20. 20 times 6 is 120. So now I have to add those two numbers together. I would do 180 and 120, and I would get 300. So this has a total volume of 300. Now, let's look at this one, and let's see if changing the shape, if I cut it differently, if that changes anything. Now this one I'm going to cut vertically. I want to cut it like that. Okay? So now I've got a tall, thin box, and then I've got this part sticking out here. All right, so let's see if that changes anything. Let me put my sides on here. Vertical, horizontal, diagonal. Vertical, horizontal, diagonal. Let's go with the left box here, the left one. Okay? What's my vertical side? All right, do you see it? The vertical side, it's right here. That vertical side is 10. Okay? What's my horizontal side on this box? Look at this, just stay on that box. It's 4. And my diagonal is still 5. It's going to be 5 through the whole thing. Notice the diagonal didn't change. It's going to be 5 through the whole thing. Once you find the diagonal side, all the diagonals are going to be that. All right? So now I've got 10 times 4 times 5. Well, 10 times 4 is 40. 40 times 5 is 200. Now I'm going to go to this right-hand box here. Be careful. Be careful. On the right-hand box, what's my vertical? Look at this box right here. I can draw that line across it. What's my vertical? It's 4. Now we're going to look for the horizontal. Be careful. It's not 9, because 9 goes all the way across. 9 goes to that box. Don't use that one. Look at this box. The horizontal is 5. and the diagonal stayed 5. So now I've got 4 times 5 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 5 is 100. And when I add 200 and 100, guess what I get? 300, just like I got over there. It doesn't matter which way you cut it, as long as you find the vertical, the horizontal, and the diagonal for each box. Okay? Let's take a look at another one. All right? Now, it gets a little bit harder. Okay? And here's how it gets harder. Sometimes you don't get all of the sides labeled. Okay? So what you've got to do, and this is going to be your responsibility, what you've got to do is you've got to look at the figure and you have to say, do I have all of my sides labeled? You're going to look at all of your horizontals and see, do you have a number for every one? Okay, so let's look at our horizontals. I got this long one here is 11, this here is 6, and that one there is 5. I have all of my horizontals labeled. All right, now let's look at our verticals. This is 7, this is 10, that one's not labeled. What are we going to do? We've got to be able to figure out what that one's going to be. How do we do it? We're going to do it like this. I know the long one here, from top to bottom, is 10, okay? If I were to cut this like this much of the 10 is 7. So if this is 7, what does that have to be if the whole thing is 10? Take the bigger side, subtract a smaller one. This side right here is going to have to be 3, okay? So you're going to have to subtract the bigger one minus the smaller one to find that missing side, okay? So doing that, now it's labeled. Now everything we need is up there, okay? So now we can go through it and we can find our vertical, horizontal, and diagonal and find the volume. So let's go. I'm going to leave it cut just like I have it right here. All right, so we'll do the top box first. Top box, okay? What is my vertical line on the top box? Remember, it's not 10 because 10 goes all the way down. It's not part of 10's not part of that top box. It's going to be 3. All right, you get a different color here. It's going to be 3. Look at the top box. Find the horizontal. It's going to be 5. And now we're looking for the diagonal. Look at your diagonal side. Do you see? There it is. It's a 6. The diagonal is 6. So once you find your diagonal, put it for both parts. 6 and 6. Okay? Now, let's look at the bottom box. The bottom box right here, this bottom. What's the horizontal on the bottom? It's not 6 because that only goes part way. It's going to be 11. This is the horizontal. All right? And the vertical on the bottom box, I went out of order, sorry about that. The vertical, it's going to be this one. It's going to be 7. Again, once we cut that, we can't use the 10 anymore. So now we have to multiply to find our volume. I'm going to do this. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 times 3 is 90. Down here, 7 times 11 is 77. And 77 times 6, oh, way to go, Mr. Carey. Give yourself an easy one, why don't you? Let's see, 77 times 6 is 462, okay? So now I need to add those, right? And I'm going to get 552 for my total volume, okay? And I think that's my last one. No, I got one more. Oh my goodness, one more to practice. All right, and the reason I put up another one, it's going to have missing sides. I want to show you that one more time, okay? Missing sides. All right, let's take a look. Let's look at our horizontals. Horizontals, you got to be able to see that you're going that way, all right? What do you see up here? I see a 10 and I see a 3. What I don't see is this long one. I know the 2 short ones, 10 and 3. So if the 2 short ones are up here, how am I going to find the long one? 10 to here, 3 to there. I'm going to add them together. What's 10 and 3? 13. So that bottom part will be 13. I need to put a darker color so you can see it. It's going to be 13. Okay, let's look at the verticals. Okay, let's look at the verticals. I've got 9, I've got 6, and I don't have anything here. Okay, do I know the long vertical side? I do. This is 9. The whole thing, top to bottom, is 9. So if I take away the 6, that's going to make this one 3. Now, We can cut this any way we want. I'm going to cut this one vertically. I'm going to cut it like this. Okay? So now we have this box and we have this box. Let's look at this box on the left. Let me put my marks here. Vertical, horizontal, diagonal, vertical, horizontal, diagonal. Length, width, height. Okay? My vertical one on that box is what? It's 6. Okay? What about my horizontal on that box? It's not 13. 13 goes all the way across. It's going to be 10. And then my diagonal, look for your diagonal on here. It's not there, it's not there, it's not there. There it is. My diagonal is 5. Remember, it's going to be the same in both boxes, so put your 5 down here. Okay? Now let's come to this box. Well, there's a lot of numbers. I better be careful and make sure I find the right vertical and diagonal. Let's find the vertical one on this box. Where is it? Vertical on this box. Here it is. It's 9. How about the horizontal on this box? Again, it's not 13. 13 goes all the way across. The horizontal is 3. So now I've got to find the total volume. 6 times 10 is 60. 60 times 5, 300. Let's see. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 times 5 is 27 times 5 is 135. 135? 135? Is that right? 135? I think that's 135. Okay. I think it's 135. Am I right? 27 times 5? Have it a moment, guys. That's what happens when you get old. All right. So now I've got to take 300 plus 135. I want to add those. And I get 435 for my total volume. Guys, you have to do length times width times height, but we're gonna use those marks instead. Find a vertical side, find a horizontal side, find a diagonal side. You got to find the volume for one box, find the volume for the other, add them together, and that's how you find additive volume, okay? Look online, find some pictures of ones. You can just put additive volume and find a picture, and then you solve it, okay? That would certainly work. Parents, you can certainly do that. Pull it up online, just put in additive volume, and you'll find a bunch of pictures that are labeled, okay? And have your kids work it out, all right? Work hard, Cardinals. I'm proud of you.